Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Navs Podcast. I'm your host, Aming Anglani, recording this early Monday morning, 12:30 in the morning, December 4, following Game 2 of the UAAP Finals of the Smart Iron at the Coliseum. I'll be joined by Nico, as I've been the last few episodes, to break down what happened in the second matchup of Maroons and Green Archers, which now is a tied series entering a Game 3 winner-take-all. It's going to be pretty fun game, I would have to say. And for a couple of blowouts so far in this series, it's been still rather eventful. Well, I guess everyone has their different perspectives on it. Nico and I are going to discuss some of that. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, the Cleaning Coach.
When it comes to cleaning a home or office, most people just know the basics. Mopping the floor, wiping off dust and dirt is pretty standard. While all that can make a place look clean, it doesn't mean it is clean. Making a place truly clean and virus-free requires a professional help. That's where the Cleaning Coach comes in. The Cleaning Coach provides outstanding general cleaning, commercial cleaning, post-construction cleanup, upholstery cleaning, floor, carpet cleaning, aircon cleaning, and disinfection at a very reasonable price. The Cleaning Coach and his team will do all the scrubbing, dusting, polishing, disinfecting, and sanitizing, so you won't have to. Making your place look clean that you can also smell and feel. You will experience the difference. Now that's stress-free cleaning to a better normal, done professionally by the Cleaning Coach. Contact the Cleaning Coach today to learn more.
All right, Nico, we're here. We are here to talk about Game 2 of the UAAP Finals. So DLSU 82-60, they defeat the UP Fighting Maroons. They hand UP a beating similar to what UP did to them in the first game of the series. So because I did this after game 1, given how it happened, I must do it again in game 2. Wabak! That's what LaSalle gave UP.
Just 8 points short. Just 8 points short. They were trying to increase the lead even further. Tres na lang tres, diba? Remember? Yung
I know.
last minute.
It felt like 2K basketball, diba? Spread the floor, shoot. Yeah. But anyway, so the game starts. UP's ahead 12-2. They're up by 10 right away. And then the rest of the way, LaSalle outscores UP 80-48. No. Am I getting this right? Wait, yeah. So if the score was 12-2 to start for UP, late na, sorry. Math's a little harder to come by. But I would say, so if it was 12-2, the rest of the way, LaSalle outscores UP 80-48. That's crazy. That's wild. LaSalle ends up winning a game by 22 in a game that they trailed 12-2 early on. A 40-minute game. So first thing I noticed right away, okay, so Coach Topex makes a change. Takes out KQ from the starting 5, inserts Policarpio, and then inserts Nono in the starting 5. So why would you make that move? I can only maybe theorize some reasons why. One,
nobody asked nung press con.
I'm not sure if someone did. Maybe someone did, pero I guess at that point, LaSalle had won so big, the topics became different.
Yeah, iba na. Iba na yung
And also because, like I said, diba, LaSalle got off to an early deficit, 12-2. So
yeah, kala ko it's the same thing. Kala ko deja vu.
yeah. So I have some theories there. One, maybe that's so that Policarpio from the start of the game palang, he works through those nerves na kaagad.
Okay.
Diba? Rather than sitting on the bench waiting for the game to unfold. So now, it's different when you start the game and the score is 0-0 and the crowd isn't super amped up yet, right? Because you just started in there, you can kind of play more your own free-flowing pace. Maybe that's one reason why. Another reason why is because that way, you keep KQ to come with the second unit. So if you're trailing, okay, you're trailing, right? But you have Kimbao coming back in the game. So there's a chance that you're going to cut in the lead because KQ is coming in and maybe he'll be playing against the bench guys of the other team. But also, that's so that you don't get into the situation where you start KQ and let's say UP gets off to a hot start. Suddenly, you have to rest KQ and UP already has a sizable lead, right? So, no, the new starting 5 did not exactly get LaSalle off to a strong start. But by having KQ come off the bench, he comes in and no, they're not leading. No, it's not tied. But then he's able to help spark the comeback slowly by slowly until they tie the game. And then from there on, Escandor gets hot. I thought David, by the way, hit 2 big-time 3-pointers in the first quarter. there were parts there where UP, it seemed like, had a chance to extend the lead to 7, to 8, get back to double digits, and then when it seemed like they would, David would hit a big 3-pointer or Kemba would make a play. And then second quarter, as Kandor gets hot, the defense really starts to get rolling. And so far this final series, Malik Diouf has had foul trouble. It hasn't been easy for him to stay on the court. Partly, I think that's because of the activity of Mike Phillips, the energy.
Exactly. Grabe si
Today,
Mike.
today also because LaSalle was attacking the paint more. And then from there on, LaSalle took advantage. I thought pa nga that Nico, the 10-point lead they had at the first half could have been 16, but they missed like so many opportunities to extend the lead. And then, CJ and Harold hit those two shots
Wild
before the first
shots,
half
yeah.
ends. Yeah, and then it's down to 6. And I remember when they hit those shots, I was like, this is not good for LaSalle because they should be up at this point with the way the game has gone since the start. They should be up at like 14, 15 points, but they missed so many opportunities. And then third quarter begins and momentum's going back and forth. Mike Phillips makes a big N1 play that gets Malik Diouf his third foul of the game with about 7 something minutes to go. And that play for Mike extends LaSalle's lead back up to 9. I'm like, okay, let's bookmark that sequence right there. So Malik is in foul trouble. So even if you keep Malik in the court and he's playing with 3 fouls, he can be as aggressive as he usually would want to be on defense because he has to think I can pick up my fourth foul before the fourth quarter, right? And then Mike makes the play when UP seemed like would cut the lead. And from there on, LaSalle just stayed in control. Then, UP goes zone sometime in the third quarter. And from there, you see LaSalle starts chucking up rush 3-pointers. Nonoy took a few contested shots. Some of his other teammates took a few contested shots. And while all of this is happening, Evan is struggling shooting from the field. He's doing other things, rebounding, assisting, game managing, not turning the ball over. But he's struggling from shooting from the field. But even as LaSalle was missing shots, UP just could not find the bottom of the basket the whole game. They shot 29% from the field, including 2 of 19 from 3. And then again, LaSalle gets hot. David hits those two big time corner 3-pointers in the third quarter. When
It's
he
his
hit that,
favorite, no? The corner threes.
yes, that's where I think he's really good. His 3-point shooting is like hit or miss, but then for those corners, he's usually more hit than
Matic.
miss. Yeah.
I remember that LaSalle game against Ateneo. I know it's BJ David with that corner three that effectively ended
Yeah,
any Ateneo
exactly.
hope.
That was a big shot.
Yeah.
So then when David hits a second 3-pointer, I think it made the score 65-49. It was a 16-point lead. I'm like, oh, I think they got this. At that point, I was like, I know UP has a chance to come back because they're UP. I even tweeted about it, right? What happened in the final for 2 seasons ago. But then the way LaSalle was playing defense, UP just seemed ice cold. In so many ways, UP was like what LaSalle was in game one because I was looking at the numbers. So game one, LaSalle shot 2 of 23 from the field at from 3-point range in game one, and they were out rebounded by 10. And then today, UP shot 2 of 19 from 3, and they were out rebounded by 12. So what do the stats tell me so far? One, the team that rebounds better wins the games, right? And I told you
Mhm.
about this after game one. I spoke to a coach I trust who told me LaSalle has no chance if they're not rebounding the ball. And today LaSalle did you could see it and not
No,
even if
kudos to LaSalle, Nav.
yeah,
Every miss, may
a
it be
rebound,
UP or
rebound,
LaSalle
yeah,
side, there's 2, 3 players just sila Evan
exactly,
nakikiano.
exactly,
Not just Mike,
exactly.
everybody.
And even if you didn't see the stats, you just knew from watching the game, LaSalle did a better job rebounding the ball
Oh
because
yeah.
of how active they were. And even after the contest, Coach Topek said one of our sayings is no rebounds, no rings. Shout out to the great Pat Riley. And not only the big men were looking to rebound today, even the guards. Like Evan today, he's rebounding. He had 12
12?
rebounds.
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, 12 cake. You had
Sumasama
13
siya talaga sa
rebounds.
pag-crash ng board. Sabi ko, this guy.
Yes, Mike 13 rebounds, CJ Austria 5 rebounds. Austria had such a good game today. I thought he was big time. Ben
That's
Phillips
the
had
X factor.
4 rebounds and 3 assists in 9 minutes. He was great today.
Yung
Plus
activity
12.
ni Ben no, Nav, I would agree. It's his activity, just being a big body
Yes,
right
changed the
there.
game. You know,
Grabe.
Nico, early in the third quarter, I saw Coach Topek sub out Mike for Ben.
Mhm.
He went small, KQ and Ben at the 4 and 5, and Malik was still in the game. At
Mm.
that point, LaSalle was up like 10 points. I'm like, I wonder why he's taking Mike out right now. Because is Mike injured? Is he tired? Because like Malik's in foul trouble. You have a 10-point lead. You can extend it at this point. But then it was smart. What Topex did was actually smart and thinking ahead because he took out Mike and he puts Ben. And next play, Francis Lopez runs past Ben, gets an N1 7-point lead. And from there, you're
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, wait, did Topex just make a mistake? But in the next few possessions, Ben gets he just gets his hands on the ball. Maybe it's a volleyball training, and he just keeps the play
Siya
alive,
talaga.
right? He keeps the play alive. Multiple possessions, taps the ball out to a teammate, gets offensive rebound. He had that one layup as well, and
Yung ba
he
yung daw supposed to be a dunk and it became a layup? Is that what you're referring
yes.
to?
Yes. He was doing this in the first half also by the third quarter stretch. So then by the time Ben goes out and Mike comes in and Malik goes out, and by the way, this is where UP you might be able to attack them, that backup center position, right? Because
Yeah.
they're trusting guys like Pablo and Alter who are talented for sure, but they're also still rookies, right? So when they go up against like a Mike Phillips, they might have a hard time. So then Mike comes in, Malik goes out, LaSalle controls the board. Suddenly, the lead is up to 16. And I'm like, okay, Topex might have taken a slight risk, but he took a risk that paid off. And then they just won the game from there.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to be happy with LaSalle. It's most again the rebounding, the unexpected guys just showing up. Like the cavalry has arrived with Escandor, David, Austria, even Ben Phillips. Like even though if you look at the stat sheet, you would think na konti ba 2 points and 4 rebounds. But if you actually were there, you would see how he helped impact the game. And another thing now, the assist, the ball movement of LaSalle, 21 assists to just the 8 of UP. There were a lot
Yes.
of times that UP had to resort to one-on-one plays. And that's not UP, that's not the UP brand of basketball. And LaSalle was really able to throw them off their rhythm, their flow. And it's really great basketball. A plus basketball for the Green Archers.
Yeah, for sure. And, LaSalle had 18 turnovers the last game. 18 turnovers that led to 24-2 in an
Mm-hmm.
advantage in points off turnovers for UP. Today, LaSalle, in part because Nelly wasn't in foul trouble, LaSalle 14 turnovers, significantly less. Points off turnovers advantage, LaSalle wins 16-12. They force UP to 13 turnovers. So they are taking care of the ball when they win. And when they're having a hard time getting the lead or controlling the game, that's when they're turning the ball over usually. I think based on 2 games that if we're talking who is better if it's a half court slow game, it's LaSalle, right? Because they have, I feel, the big man depth. Because even Raven Cortez had solid minutes when he
Actually,
came in.
even Raven,
Yeah,
spot minutes. Good.
when he
The guards were finding him really well.
when he came in that first quarter, he made some big plays. And CJ Austria rebounds bigger than his size, so he's another solid rebounder. So I feel like if Evan is able to control the pace of the game, not turn the ball over, make it a half court affair, that favors LaSalle. And where UP was able to dominate game one was they made LaSalle play their style, which was pressure basketball, forcing the opponent to mistakes, getting out on the break, scoring, running, playing with speed, overwhelming DLSU with their speed and athleticism on the breaks. Like when Francis Lopez would attack in game one. Felt like Francis had a little bit more of an off game in game two than game one. I felt UP's ball movement and tempo in game one wasn't exactly there in game two. I felt at a certain point they were doing what LaSalle did in game one, which was to go for the home run plays to get back in the game right away rather than going through the process. Once UP started doing that in game two, you're like, okay, LaSalle has them in the ropes for this game. I also felt Topex did a better job spreading the floor by playing Escandor and Makalalag and Nonoy and I'm missing one more guy here. Not a lot of minutes for Abadam. Not no
Yeah,
min.
3 minutes lang si Earl eh.
CJ Austria. So these are guys who like being in the corner. Not a lot of minutes for Policarpio. Also, after Policarpio started the first quarter, 3 minutes, he didn't come back the rest of the game anymore.
Yeah.
And you saw the Topex leaned more to guys like David, Austria, Nonoy, Makalalag, Escandor, and some Raven Cortez. He leaned on these guys and Ben Phillips to complement who whenever Mike, Evan, and Keiki were in the court together. Why? Because these guys can spread the floor all the way out in the corners, which means you have more room for KQ, Mike, and Evan to run their plays, run pick and rolls. And then once UP's defenders crowded that space or the attack of their main guys, kick out, open shooter, bang bang. Right?
This is
Francis
also the
Escandor,
first
David.
finals win of Coach Topex in his career,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, first in
Dating back to the NCAA.
exactly. Escandor and David combined to go 8 of 11 from three-point
Wild,
range.
no? 8 for 11 sila. Matik pag tumitira sila. Alam, nakaganon na yung mga Lasal fans the moment
Yup,
na naka-ready na si Escandor or si David.
David. And then you add pa 2 of 5 for
Austria.
Austria. KQ 0 of 8 from 3.
That was crazy, yeah.
Ironically, only 3 of 17 from the floor for KQ. But you know why he's an MVP? It's because of games like this, where you look at the stats and he's 3 of 17 from the field. And you felt like he was just all over the place because of
The
his
defense, the 2
unselfish
blocks, the
the
2 straight blocks. So,
the
what?
defense. There and not only those 2 blocks, Nico, the whole night yung rim protection was just
Exactly, he was right there.
he was incredible.
Kahirap si Malik eh.
He made some shots hard for Malik, some
Mm.
shots hard for Lopez whenever some of the other UP guards
Even
were trying to
Aldos couldn't get to
Aldous,
his
yeah.
usual ano.
And one more thing LaSalle did well, they did a better job containing perimeter penetration from UP's guards like Abadiano, Alarcon, CJ Cancino. And LaSalle proved that if their offense is humming and the other team has to rely more on set plays and bringing the ball up, then they have the height and the defense and also some of the athleticism to counter opposing teams. So this has become a battle to me of, okay, who can impose their will, who can impose their tempo, who can impose their style, and whoever team does that will come away with the victory. And what determines all of that so far, it points to two things to me: rebounding and 3-point shooting. And on Wednesday, I feel like the team that rebounds better and the team that shoots maybe slightly better from outside will end up winning the championship.
Exactly, there's not much to contest about that. Pero I didn't expect this first 2 games to be blowouts. Sobrang what?
Mm-hmm,
It's a
mm-hmm,
tambakan talaga eh.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like game 3 is the game where everything's on the line. I feel like it'll be a low scoring game if you ask me. Even though na these are 2
Ooh.
teams that love to play, like just a wild guess, you know. Like I feel like we might end up in only the 60s, mid 60s because of how everything will get tighter from there. The officiating maybe will let them play. You think they'll let them play more physical? Let's see. Wild ng ano din kanina, no? With the way every call is scrutinized because it's the finals, diba? So, man,
Although, even after Torres, Wacky,
we're gonna talk
Evan.
about that. I want to talk about that. Sure.
Okay, let's talk about it. Cool. I
Let's-
asked Evan about it after the game. I did an
okay.
interview with him for Raptor. It's posted up na if anyone wants to watch it. He said, kulitan lang yun. That was his answer. Like,
Oh, tama naman. Kulitan
para
lang
the
yun.
finals, yeah. About Wacky Manuel, there was a joke going around online that no one brings all UAP communities together quite like Wacky Manuel. And if you follow UAP discourse, you probably know what the reason why is. You also probably know that there's a reason why sometimes so far in the finals, the crowd from UP likes it when Wacky stays in the court. And the DLSU fans sometimes can be quite irked
Tough.
when
They're tough. They're
yeah.
tough on them.
And the question has been prevalent all season, right? Why does Topex keep giving Wacky Manuel minutes? Well, the best answer I can give you for that is because Wacky has the respect of that whole team. 1000%. That one I will not dispute. Teammates love him. Teammates trust him. Teammates know that he's going to do things that won't be so popular and things that will irk both fans of LaSalle and fans of other teams. But they trust him because he's got their backs. He's got the coaching staff's backs. He's got the players' backs. And sometimes, you know what, Nico, you have to stop looking at the stats. You have to stop looking at the decision making on the court as it as random as it can be sometimes. And you gotta trust the human aspect of basketball. And right now, getting to play is Wacky's reward for what he does when there are no cameras, when it's behind the scenes, when it comes to earning the trust of his teammates. And Coach Topex is seeing that and rewarding that. And because he's doing that, he earns the trust of the rest of the team also. And you know what? LaSalle has won what? How many games have they won consecutively at this point? They won 9 consecutive before they lost game one, right?
Before they lost, yeah.
So they've won 10 out of their last 11 games. They've won 13 out of their last 17 games because they had 3 losses in the first
Yeah.
round. And they're 1 win away from winning the UAAP championship. So
For all the marbles.
what Topex is doing is working. For all the criticism, I mean, people have criticized him online
Galing na
sometimes for
adjustments rin ni Coach Topex no, Nav. I mean,
yeah,
even though na talagang he's assessing, okay, you're playing well today. Sige, babad pa kita. It's not like he doesn't resort to, hindi naman kita ginamit ng first round, second round. Talagang ano siya, like,
yeah.
okay, you show me you belong on the floor. Sige, babad kita.
And he's not afraid to make rotation changes. Like in Polycarpio minutes, right? He started
Oh.
Poly today,
Mm.
and then he saw that the floor spreading was working, especially in the corner. So he leaned on that. And sometimes that could be a tough choice as a coach, right? To go away from what was working for weeks and weeks, but then note what's working for the matchup in front of you. Because it's different when you're facing different teams in the elimination round. It really is, right? Every game you have a different scouting report. You're going up against different players, different coaches, different styles, different everything. So you need something a little more general, a system you rely on. But when you're in a final series or final four series, it's matchup based. And by the time you get to the finals, you've faced the other team a few times at that point. So you have enough scouting to see what works and what doesn't work. And a good coach is able to note and realize what works for that matchup in that series. And they have to make that split second decision to say, okay, I'm going to lean on that. And Topex did that. Like he didn't play Makalalag in the first half, I think. He also didn't really play Abadam today. I didn't see a lot of Abadam, only for a quick stretch in the first half.
3 minutes lang. 3 minutes lang siya naglaro.
Exactly. But he
Konti
saw
talaga.
Escandor played well. And then Makalalag played well in the second half. And David was balling. David, you could see from the first quarter, he had like something to him. And
Shoutout rin to David on the defense on Felicilda. Actually, the guards of LaSalle, they did incredibly well defending the guards of UP.
yeah. Now, if you're UP, okay, what's the optimistic side of things right now? Okay. With a blend of realism. Well, you're probably not going to shoot 2 of 19 from 3-point range again. Probably. I think UP is also good enough as a team that they probably won't shoot 29% overall again. But then also if you're UP, so those are two positives. And you can also tell yourself if you're UP, we dominated the rebounding in game 1. We can do that again in game 3. We just got to get back to being more active on the boards, showing aggressiveness, and moving the ball. The 8 assists are not great. They had 15 last game. And this is a team that thrives when the ball is moving, when the defense is a half step behind, and guys are all getting the chance to touch the ball. It felt like there was less of that in game 2. It felt like there were more like home run plays, especially in the second half. One concern I would have if I'm UP is neither Evan nor KQ have had one of their efficient
Signature game.
scoring games yet,
Wala pa.
right? LaSalle was able to tie the series 1-1 with KQ and Nelly. So game 1, KQ goes 4 of 10, Nelly goes 4 of 13. Game 2, KQ goes 3 of 17, Nelly is 2 of 12. Now, if it just so happens that game 3 is when those two have a high scoring efficient game, not good news.
One of them is bound to explode.
Yeah, I would say so. I think at least one of them will have a good game next
Ganda
game.
na rin ni Evan rin kanina. Save for the shooting, the all-around game. Grabe yun. Sabi ko, newfound respect for Evan Nelly after that one.
And you know what? Malik in 24 minutes was a -3. Kagulangan was a +1 in 21 minutes. I feel UP is better off if Malik can stay out of foul trouble, which is kind of like stating the obvious. But for this particular matchup, they need him on the floor. They need his presence, but they need him to stay on the floor and be able to be defensively aggressive because he is still hurting Lasal in terms of drop off passes from his teammates. When his teammates are able to penetrate, offensive rebound for second chance scoring opportunities, and on the other end, to limit Lasal to one shot per attempt. Because Lopez is probably their next best rebounder, but other than those two, they don't have like the bigs to match up against DLSU. So if Malik can stay on the court and he has good chemistry with JD, I think UP will be in good position to possibly win the game. One concern UP needs to work on is they seem to not yet have an answer for Michael Phillips. Michael has been able to energize DLSU in the paint in both games so far. And now it's a question of okay, can they limit his rebounding? He didn't shoot well from the field today, 3 of 10, but he had 9 points, 13. He did have 7 turnovers
That was
today.
weird. Oh nga, no?
Yeah,
7
seven
turnovers.
turnovers. Exactly.
More than that's half of Lasal's turnovers.
Yeah. Yep.
I
But
think
he's
that's when he gets trapped in the paint when they collapse on him.
yes, but
Bato, turnover.
his energy continues to change the game for DLSU though. That is one area they need to work on. Speaking of the Fighting Maroons.
Yeah, man. And if we're gonna make a prediction here, I feel like we're gonna get a KQ triple double in the third game.
In
Hopefully, I
game
mean,
three?
malay mo. Like it would be great to see that, or maybe an Evan Nelly. I feel like Evan right now is it's close between Evan. Do you think it's close, Evan and Mike, for like kunyari kung mag-finals MVP, like for example, who's your pick for both? Like for UP, is it easy to pick one? So far si Harold, no. If so like just our prediction for finals MVP for both teams para walang jinx. It's just that so far, who do you think? UP Harold or Francis, right?
I think Malik.
Malik pa rin based on
Malik.
stats. Stats pa
Ma
rin ba pag finals MVP or parang that's voting na?
Hindi ko sure actually, but I think its stats have something to do with. I think if UP wins game three, it will be Malik.
Malik. If
I
LaSalle wins
do.
game 3,
I think it's
Evan.
gonna be Kimbao.
You feel like it's gonna be KQ like kahit for game 1 and 2 medyo muted siya.
I think it will
Depends.
be
So,
Kimbao.
okay.
I think Kimbao. Yeah. I mean, if assuming LaSalle is gonna win game three, I think it's gonna fall on Kimbao. But Michael isn't far behind.
Yeah, magkakadikit silang tatlo eh. Evan, Mike,
Yeah.
and KQ. So it's a matter of who shows up in game 3. If you're a LaSalle fan, you want all 3 to show up, not just one.
How
And
about
the
Wacky Manuel
supporting
for
guy.
Finals MVP?
You know, so kanina 'di ba nung when that commotion happened, ngayon lang ako nakarinig ng LaSalle cheer na, "Let's go Wacky!" Sabi ko, wow. Not sure kung ano, but you can see like, wow, they love him in this moment. Because
Na-
whenever he subs in, the LaSalle fans are quiet. They're like,
you
but
know,
kanina, they were happy.
the, something else I noticed. I feel like Coach Topex is matching CJ Cancino's minutes with CJ Austria.
Sinasabay niya, no?
I think so.
Oo nga, no?
I think he's putting CJ Austria not only to defend CJ Cancino in the minutes that Cancino's in the court, but also because I think LaSalle likes that matchup of Austria versus Cancino for them.
It works.
Austria was attacking in the first half. He had those two big end one plays. And then he had that one play where he created for Cortez the nice dish pass.
Oh yeah,
Dish.
I saw that one. Nag-drive siya tapos parang yung last
Exactly.
minute pass niya, no?
Yeah,
Last second
yeah.
pass rather.
Yeah, and CJ Austria gives DLSU another penetrator that they need against this UP defense to kick it
Many
out the
minutes did
open
he play?
shooters.
19.
That was probably the best game I saw CJ Austria play, both ends of the floor. At the end of the game, you saw him kind of celebrating with the LaSalle crowd a little bit.
Yeah,
when
he was
made
doing
those
this, right?
three-pointers. Yeah.
I saw that one.
But so far it's been a not very interesting, but an interesting series for me. Just because even if they've been blowouts, we've seen in some stretches how these teams can go back and forth. And when they do, it gets tense and exciting and heated in a basketball competitive way. But we've also seen now that if either team can land a haymaker of a punch, it can really knock the other team out cold. They're figuratively speaking, right? Not literally.
Grabe naman, not
Game
literally.
game one, we saw it third quarter. UP, goes on that run. LaSalle does the same third quarter of this game, and both teams are just so good. I really think we have the two best teams of the UAP season competing in the finals this season. These two have separated themselves from the pack. We thought at the start of the season it would be, somewhere between UP, LaSalle, Ateneo, and U. And you hung around with them for a bit. Ateneo tried, they beat them in some games, but they just didn't have the consistency to stay there record wise. And then we saw that NU fizzled out at the end. They became LaSalle and UP, and it just feels fitting we have a game three to determine a champion.
Yeah, and can't wait. I feel like they can beat the gate attendance a while ago. 20,800. This Gen
Grabe,
Ad
no?
was so full.
Grabe, yeah. It was something. I still
Yeah,
can't get
but
over how they shot 2 of 19 from 3, UP.
defense, grabe. Yung Lasal, they were all there. It's not like wide open yan eh.
It
Di
was
ba?
well contested,
It's
yeah.
all well contested.
Well, if you're LaSalle now, we talked about it. If you're UP earlier, what are the positives, right? Well, if you're LaSalle, I guess K1 is Mark Nono also hasn't even had a big game yet, like Kembao and Nelly. So if two of those three guys have a big game, so suddenly you have a fighting chance offensively in game three. The concern for DLSU would be if they don't take care of the ball or if they're giving up live turnovers against UP's guards, then it's danger because UP will run to their heart's desire. They will attack, they will push in transition. They made some shots today in transition, off made shots, not just off missed shots. LaSalle needs to be able to control speed of the game, keep it half court, keep it a grind out if they want to win. And again, if you're UP and you want to win, you need to ramp it up. You need to make the game almost like chaos. You know what I'm saying? If you're
Yeah.
UP, I feel like to some degree they
Parang may
thrive
kulang sa
in,
defense nila kanina. Parang may
yeah,
kulang sa defense nila
may
kanina.
kulang yung chaos factor sa
Yeah.
defense nila. It was the factor of like them making the other team mess up and create their own mistakes, and then they're there to take advantage of it. And because Evan played mistake-free basketball in terms of turning the ball over, LaSalle was just like a step ahead after that early 12-2 advantage, and it was, game over
Imagine mo
from
yun, one
there.
turnover only for Evan.
With how often he was holding the basketball,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
We didn't see much of KQ holding the basketball today.
Yes, yes. And he
Much
mentioned that post
screen
game.
setter siya ngayon.
Yeah, sabi nga niya, he mentioned that post game. He was like, I had to step my ego aside because I had to play more off ball. And
Mm.
you saw it, right? It was
Off-ball
more of
siya.
off ball and he was being opportunistic. And he went nga 0 of 8 from 3. Eh. Imagine if he even made some 3-pointers, it might have
Mas
been
lalayo pa yung lead talaga.
exactly, exactly. Okay, from UP's lineup, who do you trust rotation wise in a game 3?
Ilan? How many are gonna give me?
Like
10-man rotation?
let's say you
8.
rely on,
Kasi we make it tight. So
yeah,
8.
like 8 to 9 guys. Who would
Okay,
be your 8 to 9 guys?
okay. Malik, CJ, Harold, Francis, JD, Felicilda. That's ano na? That's 6 na, no?
Mm-mm. Then you get to like what? Torres, Abadiano, Torculas.
That's the hard one eh.
Yeah.
Jerry
Yeah, I think you have to
and
play Jer.
Torculas.
Torculas, yes, because you need the
8.
size.
Yun yung 8 ko. 8.
Then it
It's
becomes,
extremely tight rotation.
yeah, exactly. And the scoring hasn't really been there for Torres yet, no? So far in the finals.
Wala talaga. He's being
Wala
used as a
pa.
defense. He's being used for defense mostly. Hindi siya
Exactly.
inaharap siya masyado sa offense eh. He keeps swinging it eh. Talagang focus siya sa defense eh.
One more thing I noticed. 16 shot attempts for Harold and 13 shot attempts for Francis, which, given the talent and caliber of those players, you're okay with, right? Cancino kind of there because he had 8 free throw attempts, so the usage is about there. But I feel UP optimized at their best, that's more spread out, yung shot distribution. Then again, also some of that is a product of the way the game was being
The
played.
one-on-one kanina. Puro nagsusulo kanina eh. Hindi masyado umikot yung bola eh. It's more of, okay guys, I don't see the ball moving. Ako na.
Correct.
That's how it happened kanina.
And okay, Nico, one more thing. First game, UP took 83 shot attempts from the field, 26 free throws. LaSalle took 70 shot attempts from the field, 17 free throws. Okay, now we go to game 2. LaSalle took 82 shot attempts from the field, 16 free throws. UP took 69 shot attempts from the field, 24 free throws. So what does that tell you? The team that wins the possession battle so far is winning the finals as well. And that's where the rebounding comes in again, right? You're winning the rebounds. Sabi ni Coach
True
Gold
nga,
after
no?
the game,
The more
he
shot
felt
attempts
the
talaga.
he felt the energy of LaSalle sa mga 50-50 balls were a little bit better. So the team winning the 50-50 balls, the rebounding, multiple effort plays, they're winning the games. And it's not surprising. You know why it's not surprising? Because like we've said so many times, these are the two best teams in the UAAP right now. And when you're playing the best against the best, they're pretty even in terms of talent, in terms of coaching, in terms of preparation, in terms of creative sets. At that point, more often than not, teams are talented. You'll have exceptions once in a while, like the undefeated Ateneo team in 2019, or some of those, the dynastic Ateneo 5P teams, the Salford, those dynasties, right? But when you don't have a clear dynasty or a clear super duper powerhouse, you're usually facing someone in the finals, talent wise, even compared to you. So then what will determine a winner at that point? It's who can create multiple possessions, who can give you more chances to take opportunities to score, because the math will work to your favor. Game 1, the math worked to UP's favor. Game 2, so far, game 2, LaSalle, the math was in their favor. So what will happen in game 3? Well, this is why it was hard to make prediction for this series to begin with, because it's not easy to determine how these games are going to go just because of how versatile the teams are.
Yeah, so did we predict that it's gonna reach 3 games? No. We were saying that we were off with our prediction. We said that if UP wins game 1, they win game 2. But if LaSalle wins game 1, they win game. Pero it's baliktad eh, no? So talaga game 3 talaga tayo regardless of
Well,
what we predicted. So it's going to 3 games.
what I said, I remember, I think it was going to go to 3 games.
Okay.
What I said was who wins game 1 wins the series, because I felt both teams were too good to win 2 consecutive against each other.
Actually, okay. But did you expect na tambakan yung first 2? Hindi, no?
No, I expect,
Ano to?
yeah. But that's the thing. I expected both first games to be close. I'm expecting the third game to be close on Wednesday, but at this point, do we really know what's gonna happen? That's why all predictions, no matter what we say, what people say, what they think, what they're tweeting out, sure ball yan, libreng Starbucks kung manalo, free fishbowl, I'm gonna run in Taft Avenue, Don Oblation, whatever people are posting, saying at this point, it's hard to predict, it's unpredictable, but let's enjoy it, because I feel like game 3 has the chance to be special.
Yeah, and sobrang hirap makakuha ng tickets, man. Like, buti na lang may media ID tayo, but it's really crazy when people ask me like, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Okay, maybe we get to that a little bit. But before that, we're gonna take a quick break to hear from our sponsors, Green Blooded and Get Blue. Attention all Animo faithful. UAAP Season 86 has arrived, and it's time for the DLSU Green Archers to reclaim their spot at the pinnacle of UAAP basketball. The battlefield is set and the roar of the crowd awaits. Are you ready to keep the Animo spirit alive? There's no better way to show your unwavering support for the Green Archers than by sporting the finest LaSalle apparel, and that's where Green Blooded comes in. They are your go-to destination for all things green and white, designed with passion and precision to help you stand out in the sea of fans. Ready to gear up for success? Simply visit Green Blooded online to explore their latest collection. Whether you're a student, an alum, or simply a devoted fan, they have something special for everyone. Get ready to cheer the Green Archers back to glory. Let your passion shine through your apparel and fuel the Animo spirit with Green Blooded.
Attention sports enthusiasts and loyal Ateneo fans. The peak of excitement may have settled after the UAAP season, but your support for Team Ateneo should never waver. Show your unwavering spirit by proudly donning your favorite Get Blued merchandise. We have amazing news for you. You can now find the most extensive selection of authentic Ateneo gear at both Shopee Mall and Laz Mall. Gear up and embrace the blue and white pride with Get Blued's top-notch apparel. And remember, always buy original.
All right. So, the best rivalry in the UAP is UAP fans versus scalpers for tickets.
Ay, yun yung best rivalry since
Since the
how
80s,
since
90s.
50s, 60s. Hindi mo na alam.
I don't know. How much do you think the game 3 ticket prices are going
Oh,
to
you
go
wanna
with
guess?
scalper?
I feel like Gen Ad will have 2.5.
Yeah, I feel like Genad will like
Let's
go
do
from like
5.
2 to 3K max. I feel like Patron will probably, because game 1, I feel like Patron tickets were selling like for 4 to 6K in that range.
Which one? Patron?
Yeah, game 1.
Mura pa. Ah, well, kasi it's
Yeah.
game 1.
Game 3, I don't know. Would it be like 10 to 20? But then at the same
20.
time,
I feel like 20 pag Patron.
yeah, but then would the fact that it's been blowout so far kind of dissuade fans from being like, you know, why pay that much? Because like if you paid 5-6 grand, and if you're a UP fan and you paid like 6 grand for Patron at game 1, then obviously it was probably worth it. But like let's say you're just like a diehard basketball fan and you didn't go to any of the schools and you paid like 5 to 6 grand for each game so far and they've been blowouts and you're like, maybe it'll
Feel
make
ko
you
hindi
double think.
factor yun. Basta makita nila yung team na manalo.
If you're from the school or if like diehard fan ka, but I'm
Ay, if
talking
diehard
like,
fan, oo.
yeah,
Pero
but
pag regular fan ka, parang
yeah,
no.
diba?
Bahay,
Diba?
Pilipinas Live. By the way, not sponsored. If you guys want to sponsor Nav.
So I know it's difficult for people to get tickets, and I really, really empathize because whenever people say ang hirap pa ako ng tickets, it's so hard to get the tickets, you log in the Ticketnet or SM Tickets or wherever you get your tickets to online websites, sometimes it's sold out right away or only Genad and Upper Box are available. And then suddenly you see people posting online all the tickets they're selling, right? It can be a little bit discouraging sometimes. And people have clamored for years for the UAP to do something about it, and the UAP have given their quotes in the past about it. But there's really just so much that you can control, even if you're the UAP itself, because once you release these tickets to like different outlets, and I'm not just talking like official outlets, I'm talking about representatives and people who request for tickets. Sometimes it's just you can't track everything, right? Especially if you're selling like tickets north of 20,000. But I do empathize with fans who have a hard time getting their tickets. The diehard fans who really want to be there, who watch religiously every game of their favorite team, every minute, every second, and then for some of them it's hard to pay that much, the increased prices. I do hope one day we get to a point where it's easy to access the tickets of choice online. Like Patron will be readily available online. Same for lower box and whatnot. Until then, I understand why it just sucks for fans.
Yeah, and ingat na lang. Ingat na lang sa pagbili. Make sure that
Legit, yeah.
legit yung ano. Pero if you really have to buy from scalpers, I mean, I can't stop you. I mean, of course you really want to watch your favorite team. But yeah, I mean, but this is the last game ever. Not ever. This is the last game for this season. So think about it kung worth it ba o hindi.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's really funny where when you work in the UAP in some capacity, you could be like part of logistics or you could be
Hindi
media
again.
or
Pag
you could
if
be
you work for UAP.
no idea, to be honest. But if you work UAP to some capacity, that's when all your friends start coming out, right? Friends over the years. Yung mga old high school friends mo that you haven't spoken to in a bit, old college friends. Uy, baka may ticket ka, ganyan. Now, I don't mind when like legit friends who I talk to constantly are asking me because
Tayo.
Yeah,
That too. Tayo.
because then it's understandable because you're like legit friends, diba? Or you talk to each other, you like the person, and you'd be happy to give that person tickets if you had them. You know, isn't always accessible. But it does amaze me sometimes like people who you never speak to, random followers, just like, uy bro, kailangan ko 3 tickets. Uy bro, 4 tickets. Uy bro, kailangan ko ng tickets para sa pamilya ko.
Sige, 5K
Game 3
each.
finals.
Sige, 5K each.
Sometimes I want to reply, okay, let me go to my tree outside that grows UAP tickets and pluck them out for you. Like, come on,
Pili
guys.
ka, row 1, row 2. Ano, row 1?
Sure. By the way, when you get your tickets from me, do you also want a free drink and free food?
Signed na lang si Otto.
I know. I understand the passion, and I understand how sometimes when you really want something, the end just justifies the means. That's what you're telling yourself, right? But it can be hard to keep saying no to people also, and keep saying I don't have tickets. I don't know how to get you tickets, and how you can just how to be like, please stop messaging me without being too rude, right? It's a little bit of a balance, yeah.
It's actually hard for us as well. Medyo patahin rin sa side namin.
Mm-mm.
Talagang, it's not like we get like 10 tickets at a time. I think
Not
we're
at all.
lucky. Tayo we're lucky to get 1 to 2. Ganun.
For
Lucky na
for
yun, ah.
for
It's
a
not like
finals, yeah.
for a
It's
finals. Regular season madali. Regular season, yeah. There's always tickets for that. Pero pagdating mo ng finals, ayan na.
mm-mm.
Diyan mo na feel na I'm so lucky to have one. Ganun. Even sa amin.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what I really hate are those people who will message stuff like, "Oy, read your article, ganda, great job. Oy, listen to your podcast,
Tapos biglang
awesome.
segue to tickets.
Oy,
Ano?
nice video on Instagram. By the way, bro, please, para I can take my something something.
Segue.
Yeah, baka may
Segue
tickets
to
ka."
tickets.
Like, come on, man, come on.
May story ako dyan pero pang off the record na.
Kwento mo na, just don't tell me the names of the people.
Hindi, parang may nag-message sa akin. Ito na ba yung live corner natin? Ito na yun siguro.
Yeah, let's do this na. Okay.
So may nag-message sa akin, ganyan. Part daw sila ng isang representative ng isang artist na I'm not gonna name. Sabi niya, oh, I really like yung reel mo sa Varsity Lifestyle ko. Parang maganda yung pagka-host mo ng video. Okay. I'm like, oh, makakunin ako nito as host. Ganyan. So,
Ah,
tuwa ako.
so you
Tapos,
thought it was gonna be a gig?
oo, kala ko it's gonna be a gig. Tapos, bigla, by the way, this person that is actually a diehard LaSalle fan, ganyan. Actually went there 2 years ago. Do you, humingi ng ticket bigla, mga 5 daw. Sabi
You know,
ko, what the
is
heck?
isn't that the funniest part? Not only that they actually requested,
Brought me back to earth. Like, I was
ang
happy. Like,
taas
oh,
ang taas pa ng volume ng request nila. Right?
oh,
Like,
5. Sabi ko, ooh. And then they asked me like, and then they asked me, I saw yung ID mo na red. Is that the Media Pass ID? So yeah, it is. Sabi niya, oh, can you get us like that? Like for game 2 and 3 if possible. I'm like, first of all, yung IDs na to, you get approval for it like August pa. Di ba?
yeah. And there's a master list
May master
database.
list. Hindi ka lang basta-basta.
Yeah. Like people think we just show our ID and they let us in. No, like
Hindi
we
ganun yun.
show
May kami. Stamp pa tayo dun sa baba eh.
we show our ID,
You
and then
sign.
you either sign, they check their database, make sure you're there, and then
Sa
you
MOA,
can,
ganun, di ba? May
yeah.
database talaga sila.
Even Araneta has a database then.
Pero manual, papel. Like you have to look for your name and sign.
Yes. But at the same time, also, I'm sure they have like a database then. We sign
Oh,
just to like, show na, okay, we're entering the arena na. But yeah, it's not that easy. I remember someone asked me one time, was like,
pahiram ng
bro,
ID mo, bro.
borrow your media ID for 1 hour. I'm like, why? I'll just photocopy it. I'll put my picture. I'll have it laminated. And no, this wasn't for UAP. This was for like a random concert that I did as a media job before. But I'm like,
Madadali ka sa
no.
ganyan. Ikaw yung madadali eh.
Yeah, that's what they don't get then when they ask you like, if can we do this? It's that if you get caught, you're screwed. You're probably banned. Diba?
Ikaw rin. Kasi makikita nila
Yeah,
kanina
yeah,
po
yeah.
yung R2.
Meaning the original
Oo,
media
ikaw.
member.
Ikaw muna.
Exactly.
Siya parang,
Exactly. And then like I've actually had some like friends pa who've asked me if they can do it. And then I'm like, no. And then they don't understand why I'm saying no. They're like, it's so simple. Why don't you do it? People
it's
have done
kinda
it
advanced
before.
now.
No one gets caught naman. And I'm like, it doesn't matter to me if I mean, of course it matters to me if
It
I
matters to you.
like, but then this isn't the most important part, getting caught or not. Why would I risk what I've worked for the chance to get caught? It doesn't make sense. Diba? That's what matters more to me. Okay, so I guess my life corner.
Ito
And
na
this
yun.
is why if you have a media ID to really any event, never ever ever let someone borrow your media ID. Unless it's a matter of life or death, I guess, something
Hmm.
like that. And it's a family member, something like really unique circumstances. So this was a few seasons ago. And you know how when you exit the MOA media entrance, that's where the bus section is, right? The team buses where the drivers and the buses wait to take the players back to their campus or their team dinner, wherever they're going. And for the MOA area, that's usually where the fans camp out for a chance to take pictures with the players and the coaches, whatnot. So one time I exited and I had my media ID around my neck. I was walking and I was heading to the parking lot, and then like two fans, like diehard fans, all geared up. I won't na lang say the name of the team that they were fans for.
Mhm.
Go
Yeah,
go
wag
up
na.
to me and they're like, sir, hi. So at first I'm like, okay, this is nice. Someone's gonna tell me that maybe they read something I
Oo,
wrote or
kikiligin ka pa eh.
listen to my
Yes.
podcast. And they're like, sir, pwede pa hiram? What? Your media ID. And I'm like, well, I was going to say no, but then obviously, but then I was
You wanted
also
to
like,
ask, like, bakit?
wait, why do you want my media ID? And I was like, why? Sir, so I can enter the team's bus and ask for pictures of the players. I'm like,
Lalaki ba 'to?
no,
Ah,
females. To one of them was like a college student, and I think the other one was like an older friend. And I'm like,
okay.
nope, sorry, that's not good. And to their credit, they said right away, okay, sorry, never mind. But still,
This
it,
time.
yeah, like I get that fans are excited and passionate about their favorite players, but there's a certain level where you have to be like, no, can't do that.
Abangan na lang nila sa UP. They know now where they practice eh.
Not to say that this team was from UP or
Ay,
any,
sorry
but
na.
then
Eh,
as an
I'm just,
example, yeah,
abangan na lang nila sa school rather. Sorry, si
yeah,
UP Lasal yung nasa utak ko ngayon eh. Parang, yeah, abangan mo na lang sa school or whatever.
for sure. But hey, Nico, by the way, also wanted to mention, people have been telling us lately well, for me, I'm not sure if you, but people have told me lately they've enjoyed the recent podcast episodes after the big games, Final Four.
Yeah, they do. That's why
Yeah,
they do they like a podcast and everything. And actually both from UP and Lasal. That's
yeah,
why it makes me happy. Like, oh, wow, thank you.
exactly. Exactly. I'm not sure if I mentioned this in the podcast yet, but Brother Bernie also said that he listens to the podcast. And
You
of
told me,
course,
yeah. You
yeah,
told
I
me.
told you that, sir. And of course, it's Brother Bernie. That's so cool, right? So shout out to him and
He's
shout
like
out
a Lasal legend.
to something. He's an,
Or more of he's a constant face. Like
yeah,
ayun, that's
yeah.
the right term.
He's a friendly, constant face around campus. And I feel like many generations of students from that school have seen him over the years. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you for the kind words. Thanks to those who even
Really super.
comment during the live premieres and even afterwards. Those who constantly watch the episodes, like our friend Frandu. And
Favorite mo yun eh.
yes,
Favorite ko rin yan. Favorite ko rin yan. Favorite ko rin si Frank. Comments
exactly.
on
And
every TikTok video
yeah.
din.
I believe Luis also of in our group chat also constantly watches the episodes. Just a lot of people do, so we're super thankful because like we usually start these pods so late.
We do. It's
Uh
1:24 a.m.
yeah, on a Monday morning. So and we end late and I'm sure our producer Jason also appreciates it because Jason works really hard to get these podcasts out in time. So he does great work. Kudos to him as well. So yeah, we're just super thankful when you guys say stuff like that. And even if you come up to us and just share a quick word of how you enjoy what we're doing, because it's nice. I think for us media members also, so much of why we do what we do is because of our passion and love for the UAP. And to be able to share that with fans, even for a few seconds, a few moments at a time during the game or after, it's special and we'll never grow tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, it really warms my heart na na whenever people compliment us and not asking for tickets right after, that's like really genuine. I really appreciate it. And they ask me sometimes like how do you guys do your research and everything. We're just like we just watch the game and
Yep.
then bahala na and we just have the stats in front of us. Yun na yun. Tapos
Yep.
whatever ano na lang mostly comes to our minds. Yun, di
Yeah.
ba? That's it, Nav, di ba? We have our stats here. And then, recall na lang what you remember from the game with some notes from
Correct.
my end.
Correct.
Yun na
Top
yun.
of the mind.
That's it.
That's why I always like it when we record the night of the game also because it's so
Very
fresh.
fresh. Sobrang fresh.
Yeah, fresh. So super fun times. And yeah, just don't request for like 5 to 7 tickets afterwards.
Patron. Yung patron pa hinihingi.
Bro, 3 tickets na naman.
Patron pa hinihingi sa akin. Yung kinento ko sa'yo kanina, patron. Yung ano daw, not just, yung kita daw sa camera.
Also, before we let this podcast finish, I want to show off my new Varsity
Oh, yeah. We
Lifestyle
love that.
t-shirt. The UAAP t-shirt from Varsity Lifestyle. Shout out to our guy, Kirk. I don't want to reveal much. All I'm going to say is there will be a championship edition shirt from Varsity
Wild.
Lifestyle for the champion, whoever the champion is, on
Magre-release
Wednesday.
sila sa Wednesday na?
I believe
Wow.
so. Yes. The scarves are out too. The hoodies are out. The sweatshirts. They have great stuff. Kirk does a great job, and the team, everyone who works with the team, super easy to deal
I'm
with
so
at the
happy
booth. Yeah.
whenever I see people wearing Varsity Lifestyle t-shirts,
Mm.
jackets, and yung scarves, sabi ko, laki talaga ng marketing efforts from day one.
Yeah, and I'm so excited about the brand too because I got to speak to Kirk and he shared that they have some plans for the future about different shirt designs, different lines, different ideas they want to explore with. And it's fun to see people wear their school pride, right? At the games, it adds to the excitement. So shout out to Varsity Lifestyle for what they're doing. They're doing great work. Check them out at the booths. Check them out online also.
I'm excited for game 3. See you guys on Wednesday.
By the way, are you still enjoying your Golden State Warriors season?
Oh, dude. Very parang but na lang may UAP right now, but I have to face the fact na I have to support my Warriors after the UAP season.
Oh my
Go
God.
through the tough times. Tough. It's really tough. Injured pa si Chris Paul. Injured pa si Peyton. Diba?
I
Na-injured silang dalawa
know.
eh.
I know. It's tough. I mean, and Clay's not playing so well. But so much fun NBA stuff's going on. We've been so busy with
Timberwolves
UAP.
#1 seed.
T-Wolves.
Orlando #1.
Orlando on the rise. 2024, after the UAP season, I'm gonna focus a little more on NBA.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Some college off season also, with Pinoy Liga going on. And Gianni Stevens, shout out to him. What a performance
21 and
the other
23.
day. The fit Gianni Stevens hooping.
Galing pa sa injury yan, Nav. Diba?
Yes.
He's recovering from
Wait. I have
injury.
some UAP news, pare. Ray Noy Remogat has interest from international teams.
Meron na? Oh,
Like,
finally.
what? No concrete offer.
Interest.
No offer. Interest. But I also spoke to someone from UE who said, kasi Noy was awarded Mythical 5, right? Shout out to him and
kanina.
LJ for getting in that list. Someone from UE said they're confident they're going to keep Noy for next season. We will see how it unfolds. He's a great player, and we wish him all the best. Whatever.
I mean,
he
he's
decides.
they just assigned him team captain, diba? Last game of the season. Sinabi ata ni Coach Jack.
I believe so. We'll see.
On the spot niya ba ginawang team captain?
I'm
I don't
not sure about that.
Basta alam ko parang It's either a day after at the latest or parang on the not sure. Basta alam ko team captain na siya ngayon for next
Yeah,
season.
yeah. And like the other day I posted the story on Francis Lopez that I wrote for Rappler, right? And there have been posts recently about Francis because he won Rookie of the Year. Now people have been critical, he's not the real Rookie of the Year now because Momoe should have won it because of the statistical points. Now, if we were gonna go just by statistical points, yes, Precious Momoe was the best performing rookie of UAP season 86. But if we're going to follow the rule book
Francis.
as unfortunate as it is for Precious, he got two unsportsmanlike fouls that led to a suspension, and Francis is the rookie of the year. I do want to say, however, that these two things can be true. One, Precious was awesome, and two, Francis was also awesome. Which means that yes, Precious would have won rookie of the year had he not been suspended, and it would have 1000% been well deserved. But Francis is also worthy of winning Rookie of the Year. And I think we saw that in game 1 of the finals, particularly.
Yeah, and he also has a chance to win the finals MVP, providing UP wins. Considering that he changes so much for the team, he opens up a lot for the shooters. Considering the way he attacks, hirap sila pigilin si Francis, no?
Correct. Yeah. Anyway, anything you got coming up soon, Nico?
It's just hopefully we get to have more podcasts in the future after the UAP. Hope you guys listen to Navs. Outside the UAP, mga NBA podcast, we might have episodes related to that. Just really good content in general.
Yeah. You also have a stream coming up, diba?
Yeah, so I have a stream. It's a live stream. It's like this as well, but just my perspective along with a friend. Tapos it's at 10 a.m. So it's always the day after. It's like ano yung tawag sa NBA? Yung morning show nila na first take. Pero parang gano'n. Kasi sa umaga sa akin, di ba? I'm not saying it's a kind of like same style, but it's the morning. Imagine mo 10 a.m. may nagpo-podcast about the UAP. I feel like it's fun. I get to interact with people on the chat, and then that's how I base my episode or my stream. It's how people ask questions on the chat, so YouTube and TikTok. So that's how it is. It's formed by your questions. So yeah, that's
Fantastic.
it. Yeah.
Great. Well, everyone tune into that. If you don't catch it live, at least watch the replay, and you might have
That's a replay.
a good listen to while you're showering, while you're in the bathroom, while you're driving, while you're cooking, washing dishes. Podcasts are a thing of beauty because they are very versatile. And with that, I bid you all goodbye. Nico, thanks for joining me. Jason, thanks for editing and producing. Thanks to all the listeners, as usual. Much love. We got one more UAAP game, which means you are at least getting one more episode of this podcast before the season ends.
At 12:30 a.m.
It might be later than that.
Oh yeah. Actually, wait, last question. So pag sa Wednesday, like, di ba, parang may champion na. Do we record the next day na? Kasi you have to go to whoever's school. May
I
Thanksgiving ba Lasal on the day itself? Or UP alam ko merong party na after eh.
well,
How about for
all
Lasal?
of this are flexible. We'll see, but I think we'll probably record Thursday.
Yeah, most likely ganun na. Kasi you have to go to either eh. I think both will have a Thanksgiving na. Whoever
Well,
wins.
Well, we'll see. Before that, we have a great game coming up and cannot wait. Check it out. Nico, see you around, buddy.
See you, bro.